These are the streets of an inner city, Wilmington, Delaware to be exact. They haven't changed much over the years. Outside of the occasional renovation to a house, removal of a dilapidated building, or resurfacing of a road, on the outside it all looks the same as it did 20 years ago, and the economic conditions haven't changed either. It's neighborhoods like this where you would expect to find hunger, struggle, and crime. I was born in one of these neighborhoods in North Philly, and I was not allowed to go any further than the front steps of my little rundown house. This was because there were things taking place on those streets that were just not meant for children. People used to hang in front of the local liquor store begging for money to get drunk or grab enough cash so that they can go get high on whatever their choice of drug was. When I was a child, heroin was considered the monster in the community. It was nothing to see someone's mother, father, or other family members sitting on some steps, nodding out, or in the alley, earning a couple bucks to avoid getting sick, or at least that's what they would tell us. Yep, this is definitely where you could find sick people. Evolution is defined as the process by which different kinds of living organisms are thought to have developed from earlier forms during the history of Earth. I wonder if that development always results in something that is positive. I say this because when we look at the development of the heroin abuser or user, we see something different than in the past. First, we notice that they are no longer confined to our poor neighborhoods, but rather we can find them in downtown or even corporate sections of our cities. We can go out to our suburban neighborhoods and find the heroin user has proliferated there as well. We also find they don't always look the same either. Now it's not surprising to find that the heroin addict works in your local supermarket, attends your local school, and may even be the person who has to sign your permission slip. I suppose the word evolution may be totally inappropriate to use for this type of discussion because it implies that this change simply happened on its own. However, that's too hard for me to accept. How can I accept that the use of heroin just spread and totally changed the face of its user all on its own? That's just not logical. Now, we have children, some of whom may have never come in direct contact with this drug until they used it, walking around like zombies. Children. How does this happen? How are they introduced to this drug? That is what this film is about. It is about our children becoming heroin addicts at such a young age.
Look, according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, 86% of heroin users today started out on non-medical pain relievers.
Once again, that means that they didn't get it from a doctor, but we don't need nobody to tell us that. We can see it's all around us.
Opioids has cost me having a chance to live with my biological parents, and it cost me to like having an experience of having that love from a mother, and just enjoying life with that, you know.
Alright, so his mom, my aunt, I used to see her in the street sometimes, like just walking around. I used to pass by, say what's up. Kind of felt weird because haven't been around a lot. So I asked her where she been, how she doing and all that. How come she not with us?
When I was a kid, we used to go outside and we would be trying to ride bikes, all of us. But some of us wouldn't have our own bikes. So we would canvass neighborhoods, trash cans, and wherever we could find disposable parts, and we would actually build our bikes ourselves. Some of them wouldn't even have brakes, but we would ride. And I remember riding from West Philly all the way down to Veterans Stadium, about maybe 10 or 20 of us, just riding bikes. Back then, it was, I don't really want to call it an escape, because we didn't have the issues in our homes that these kids have today. Most of us anyway. So we would just ride for the pure fun of it. Nowadays, when I see these kids out here riding on their bikes, I wonder, is it just pure fun, or is it an escape? If it is an escape, I completely understand it, because home isn't what it used to be for a lot of these children. I mean, it's all around me. So many people I know are dealing with the problem of opioids within their homes. So many children that I know have to deal with parents or siblings inside their homes with opioid addiction problems. So if it is an escape or a safe haven for them, even that's not as safe as it used to be, because so many of them at that tender young age are getting their hands on these pills, and they're experimenting. So when they go outside, they have to watch out for some of the other children that they come in contact with.
I'm 27, and I start being around and exposed to the pills when I was about maybe 19, 20, and it was heavy. And I had never been around that, so to see it on a everyday basis, like it was just nothing. So, and now with these kids, they like in middle school, smoking weed, pills and everything. And that's because I was just discussing this with my friends earlier this week. My generation now, we are going to be the generation that's going to be the worst parents raising these kids. Because, and not just parents, my generation, we are like older sisters, brothers, cousins or something to these kids that's in like middle school and stuff. And they're seeing it, because my generation don't hide it. They'll sit in a room with their kids, cousins, little brothers, sisters. They'll sit in a room and pop whatever type of pill, and it's nothing. They'll sit in a room and be nodding off in front of their kids, siblings, like it's nothing, and don't care about it. We would literally sit in the basement of my friend's house, and everybody would just be around, and it's like they pull out a bag and just pass out the pills like it's candy. And then boom, somebody don't want to take a whole one because they can't handle a whole one. Break it in half, they take a half with somebody, and got the people that's mixing. And then it was like fun for them to just literally sit and just be like that in front of each other. And I would be the one, I'll have a drink, but I would just be looking like, if they could see themselves, like, would y'all be doing this? Or are y'all just too far deep and y'all don't even care what y'all look like at this point? And then we would get in the car and drive around and they'd be like zombies. And so now it's already, they was already introduced back then. So now it's like, pills ain't nothing. A perk 30 is nothing. Back then, they were on 5s and 10s. Now, they taking perk 30s, popping them. I got a friend that pops 10 30s a day. 10 perk 30s a day. At that point, you might as well be doing something else. But that's how, it's just common now. People, you don't even really hear about Xanax no more. And the next thing, the pills is going to die down, and it's going to go to the big drugs. Because that's what it seems like. Honestly, it went from Reggie weed to Loud to Xanax, perk 5s, perk 30s. Now they getting old, and now it's like it graduates with each generation. And that's why the kids that my generation is raising now, I feel so sorry for them.
Motherfuckers on East Side, motherfuckers, they love perks. You feel me? Like, you come around there with, I ain't gonna say that, but you know what I mean? Perks out there and shit, they had you in the mix, like, you know what I mean? It just make you feel so good, like, same time, but it's the pain, like, I got stabbed in my leg and shit.
Man, that shit make me chill.
So that shit, like, nah, but if you take them, like, it release the pain and shit, make you feel good. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then at the same time,
that's why I started taking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, make you feel good. But then at the same time, when you realize, when it get you on, like, man, fuck what everybody say. When it get you on, when you on, you like, oh shit, I feel good as shit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But let me tell you, all right, what if I was to tell you all this?
Real G shit.
Yeah, I know y'all just,
yeah, I'm gonna edit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, real,
certain things that
just promoted, and y'all letting young adults,
about perks,
kids, y'all letting them know that it's cool.
Nah, I ain't saying it's cool. I'm not saying it's cool. I'm saying,
You just said that.
The way you
I'm
put
just
it out
being
there, it is.
I'm
the
being
way-
real
how
though. I'm
you-
being
how you
real.
made it
This is
forward.
why they popping perks. This is why they doing shit like
Alright,
this.
so this
Because I'm
you say
being
this
real.
is why. Alright, you
Okay.
once was a user, and this is why you say that perk are being used.
Right.
It's how you deliver what you're saying.
Because
You
motherfuckers,
saying it like it's groovy, like, you know, especially
you
when
are
getting
like,
it
yo.
in.
Let me tell you, yo, for real, like, you are grooving. Like, it make you feel good. Like you know what I'm saying? But see, you gotta understand, it comes from the government. You feel me? The government, you know what I mean? Society, like, the government brings it to us. You feel me? Government put them
That's
into
any
us.
drug. That's any drug.
Okay, but then at the same time,
government
exactly.
ain't making you use it.
It's a legal drug.
They ain't making you promote
It's a legal
it, though.
drug.
They ain't
though.
making you sell it.
I'm gonna tell you like this: a motherfucker getting in an accident right now. What the first thing they gonna call? Perks. Facts. They're not doing no Oxycontin. They're not doing what they're gonna do the Xanax.
Anybody I know had their hand in that type of, like, selling drugs, doing all that. I know about that.
Facts.
Right? And as far as using, I done seen many people fuck their lives up off of that shit.
Exactly.
That shit is whack to me.
Exactly. But
That shit
at the
whack.
same time, these kids out
You
here
feel
now,
me?
look, these kids
That
out
shit
here
whack to
nowadays,
me.
they don't care about that. All they want to do is get high and get away from society. That's all they want to
Man,
do.
I started
Like, real
because
shit.
I got knee problems. You feel me? So boom, it worked. I didn't even know this shit working. I used to sit down, go to the computer, hit the beat, boom, and just write all the time. So when I was when I had to take one of them, boom, I didn't feel it. I didn't even notice it, but it came out in my music. I noticed it years later, like, yo, it came, cause I used to be on Adderall in school, you feel me? So I never really noticed that shit. but it fucks with my brain because I got ADHD. So boom, that shit was real. Like, I still got knee problems. So if my shit still hurts sometimes. And it still comes out in my music sometimes. Sometimes I abuse it. I take it when everybody going home and I'm sitting, you didn't see me. And I sit right there, I don't say nothing, I lock in. And what come out? And what come out? Hurts. What come out?
So let me ask you something. Saying that, knowing all stuff you saying and you saying, is that something that y'all would tell young people to go out and do?
No, I wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you tell them to do that then?
Because if they ain't started, don't start now.
What if they get an injury or something like you?
That's whatever they doc prescribe them is whatever it's gonna be. They, you know what I'm saying?
All right, check this out.
See, all right.
No, see, it's about education too. Check this out. What if somebody told you that, all right, I'm gonna give you something for your problem. What I'm gonna give you is not going to really correct your problem or fix your problem. It's just gonna make you think that it's fixing your problem. Would you take it?
Damn, that's deep.
Would you take it?
Nah.
Would you take it?
Depends.
Well, I'm asking you all that because Percocets.
That means basically saying that it's not really helping my problem. It's just in my mind.
Yeah, but see, that's
I feel like I'm helping my problem.
But you go ask a doctor what Percocets really do. That's exactly what they do. It's a psychological drug.
But I be feeling good, like, cause I got stabbed in my leg.
No, you think you feeling good, but guess what? Your leg still hurt. Your leg still got the problem.
When it rained and shit like that.
Yeah, your problem's still there. But guess what? It's not directly addressing your issue. So guess what you're gonna need to do? Keep taking them.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to keep taking them. So if you keep taking them, now you're addicted. Now you're addicted to it, and the only person that's doing any good is them cats that's making that money. Cause you spending that money, you buying that paper, they writing them prescriptions, and they got you right where they want you. Addicted to they shit.
Damn, I ain't thinking.
But now you're gonna end up going from a leg problem to a drug addiction problem. Same thing. You're gonna go from a leg problem or knee problem to a knee problem and a drug addiction problem. See, this is what these youngins don't think about. You know what I mean? This is what these youngins don't think about. Y'all ain't young boys no more.
They gotta have control.
You feel me? See, so this is why it's not meant to control, man.
No, I'm in control though.
You think you are?
I am. I don't use.
Okay.
So you say smoking weed,
That.
You just told me.
That's why I always
It's just
say
the
that.
feeling. It's like a feeling. The feeling.
See
It's like a feeling. Like the feeling get you like.
You know what they used to make?
You like it. Like.
You know what they used to make Coca-Cola soda with?
I'm talking about like Coca-Cola.
You hear this? You know what they used to make Coca-Cola soda with? Do you know why Coca-Cola is named Coke?
Cocaine.
Because it was made with cocaine.
They get people addicted.
To get you addicted so you can buy their product.
Yeah, but that's different.
No, it ain't.
That's different.
No, it ain't. The only difference is it is not different.
They got a license to sell it.
The only difference is
They got a license.
the only difference is too many people came at them about that, so they made them remove the cocaine from the sodas.
Right.
Ain't nobody stopping them from writing
acid,
prescriptions of Percocets.
They got some type of acid or some shit.
Yeah.
You pour that shit on a battery. That shit will clean the whole fucking battery. Coca-Cola.
Yo, you be crazy.
Coca-Cola.
You be amazed if you were to really find out what these people are doing to you and to us, and you don't even know it. You be even more amazed to find out how you helping them do it.
They trying to get rid of us.
Exactly.
Well, we helping them.
Pick
This is even more direct, man. This is more direct because this is literally affecting so many kids now. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous now. It was a town, I forget where this town was. This town had like 1,700 people. But they wrote out almost 600,000 pills, Percocets, pills in this town. 1,700 people. Everybody ain't that sick. You know what I mean? And they let it go because they making that paper off of it. So basically what we doing by not being aware of this and not really taking what we do serious, we helping them kill us.
Don't worry. He right here now, he right here. Oh yeah, block. Keep it going, watch out, guys. Boy! No.
Oh, look here. Told you found something out there. Found a band of brothers. Are they running from the same thing you running from? Are they looking for that safe place like you? Well, I'll tell you what. For now, y'all found each other. Stick with each other. And keep riding. Yeah, y'all stick together. And if you see one of your guys getting weak and vulnerable, you do like the elephants do. You circle them. You put bodies all around them. And you protect them. And if you see that lion coming in, trying to attack y'all, spread y'all out, separate y'all, y'all do like the buffalo do. Y'all come together in a herd. Y'all stronger in numbers. Pack yourselves in real tight and you form that wall. Protect yourselves. Then you just keep riding. You ride them bikes like your life depends on it. Because it does. Do that again. Show me that again. What that stand for?
Must be nice boys. That's our group.
That's what y'all is?
Yeah. You already know.
Say it. Tell me in the camera. What y'all do, man? Tell me who y'all are.
Must be nice boys, man. Follow us on Instagram. I'm Biker Boy Kai. Team Road Captain, you feel me? Block these cars, make sure these kids don't get hit. We're just chilling, man. Riding bikes out here, man.
What you had to do,
Good.
Here to block these cars up.
You gotta show me what you got.
Me.
Huh?
Me.
Yeah, you. Come on. Bring it up.
Yo, come here.
Whoa.
Talk that shit. Talk that shit. Talk that shit.
Oh. He just swerved. See that? I got nothing.
I was introduced to it at the age of about 14, 15. Oh yeah, definitely. It was a family thing. And I just dibbled and dabbled in it at first. It wasn't a problem. I bought them off the street, stuff like that. And around the age of like 18, I ended up getting shot in my ankle. I couldn't walk for about a good 2 years, right? So I remember at first taking them. They were doing what they were supposed to do. Put me out, take the pain away. But then I noticed they started doing the reverse effect, keeping me up, giving me energy, blocking all the pain, all the hurt, everything else I felt in life. And it became an everyday habit. Basically, I noticed there was a problem around late 19, early 20, when I had my first child. And I realized I couldn't stop. So I kept doing it, needless to say. All the way up until I turned 25. And I went on to a harder drug, heroin. And I used that off and on for about a good 3 to 4 years. I've been clean now. I'll say
About a good 3 years. In the middle, I did have about a 4-week relapse. But it gets better every day.
Well, how hard was the struggle for you to get away from it?
Very hard. I had a very, very hard struggle coming away from it. There were times where I was not allowed to see my children. I did not have them. I wasn't around. I've been to numerous amount of institutions for drug and alcohol. I became incarcerated before. Let's see, it took me down a real deep, dark road as far as emotionally isolating myself for months on end, not wanting to be around nobody. Pretty much didn't care what I would do. Everybody pretty much who has turned to heroin, they'll tell you that they never prostituted or they never sold their body for money. I'm pretty sure that is a lie. Yes, you have. You are going to do anything. You are sick. You cannot handle it. You don't even know what hit you. You're going to do whatever you can just to get that high. And then you'll keep doing it and keep doing it because you are in denial. And the bad part about it is nobody can help you unless you want to be helped. Or you can't be helped unless you are ready. Ooh, if I had a chance to tell the young kids these days, I would definitely tell them to stay on track, stay in school, definitely get into all the type of programs you can. Just keep on. I mean, just think about the fact that in this world, nothing's getting easier. Everything is getting harder and harder. And another thing that I seen that interested me, why make your children swim, build a bridge so they don't have to swim like you did. So that was very touching.
So like I said, I'm only 27. So many people I went to school with when I was in school, I was one of the older people because my birthday was in the beginning of the year. So many people I went to school with have died from overdoses. Like so many people I went to school with, people I've hung out with, or people I just see around in the hallways. I know too many people that have died from overdoses, and we're only in our 20s. About right this year, and we're only halfway through 2018. I know 3 people already I went to school with that died of overdoses. One just last week. That's sad. I'm not even 30 yet. They wasn't even 30 yet. And just popping pills that strong. I had one friend, she's clean now. But there was a point where I suspected she was taking pills, but sometimes you just want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and you just be like, no, they're not that type of person. But I just start seeing weird signs. It first started off, and I knew because I started knowing the signs because one of my surgeries, after my surgeries, the doctor gave me perks, and mind you, the doctor only prescribed me perk 5s, and I hated it. Though perk 5s for me after my surgery, now as far as the pain, it worked, and that's the problem. I really feel like doctors, I don't care what they do, they need to do some type of mental evaluation before they prescribe people with these types of medications. But anyway, the perk 5s, I would literally be sitting in a room full of my friends, and I would take my medicine for my neck pain, and we'll be having a whole conversation, and I wake up, everybody will be staring at me, and I'll be like, did I just fall asleep in the middle? And they're like, yeah. And then after that, I was like, I can't take these no more. So they had to change my medicine. Now that was just 5. But that's how, when my friend, she would be talking, in the middle of her talking, her eyes would be closing, her head would just be going down, but she'll still be talking. And then when she'll get far enough down, she'll catch herself, like just catch herself and get back up. And then this all you would see her do all day. She'll be talking to you, just scratching. And I'm like, when I took the little 5s, they made me itch, and they said that's the side effect, they make you itch. But then it started being more often, and then we'll all sit in a room, she'll disappear for a little bit, and then come back. And when I really started noticing, I will always have money on me. And at first, little bills, like $1, $5 bills will go missing. And then it started getting higher, $20 bills will go missing. And then it got out of control. It'll be $50 bills and $100 bills that just go, and you don't just take that kind of money from somebody unless you at a low point. And at this point, you don't care what's noticeable, because you're just gonna lie your way out of it. But at that getting that money for that pill is your first focus, so you don't care. If that's the only 100 in your bag, and that's gonna be noticeable if I take it, you don't care. And so after that, I start setting little traps, and I put a certain amount of money in a certain pocket and see if it'll go. And every time I would leave my bag near her and walk away for a second, come back, it'll be gone. Every time it was left with her. She had used my car before to go to the gas station. I had a $20 bill in my side door that I put there just for her to see. Got my car back, it was gone. And it was just one night, I start calculating everything, and I realized, like, yo, this girl really took like over $500 in total from me. And then after that car, that was the last straw for me, because at that point I was struggling. I had first started struggling like more with my health, so I was already stressed out and and I didn't have health insurance, having to pay out of pocket for my medication and all of that. And I would tell her about this, I would vent to her about this, I would cry to her about this, like on my bad days, and she would sit and pray with me and all of that, and I would really cry to her and feel like she was the person I could talk to, because she was act godly. So after that, I had lost all respect, and I snapped. How do you stop the opioid addiction? It's really hard to pinpoint how to stop it, because a lot of the time, most of the time, it begins with your doctor's office, your local hospital, your local mental health facility, as a prescription for somebody. And then these people got 1 or 2 options that they do, or they do both. They misuse what's prescribed to them. They use more than what they should, or they don't use it at all and decide to sell it to other people on the streets, or they use what they want and then sell the rest, and then continue to get their prescriptions and then push them on out. But that's what they use for pain. So how you gonna tell a hospital, a doctor's office, and a mental health facility that's what they use to calm down? Because the thing is, a doctor told me, it's crazy, I went to the hospital one time and they wanted to send me home with Percocets, and I told them, no, can you give me Tylenol or something? And they asked me why, and I was like, I just don't like how it makes me feel. The doctor told me, and we were specifically talking about Percocets, they said they don't stop the pain, what they do, they make your brain believe that it's stopping the pain. Because the hallucinogens in it makes your brain believe that it's stopping the pain, but it's not actually stopping the pain. It's just taking your mind off of it. And then that's why you don't feel nothing. It just plays with your mind. And the doctor told me that. So how do you stop it when doctors are giving it to us?
I remember when my daughter came home from her surgery and she told me what kind of medication they gave her for the pain. It terrified me because of what I had began to witness out on the streets, how these pills had people acting. But even more so, from my experience that I had with Percocets, and all my pain and everything and my anxiety from it came from a doctor writing me a prescription. I went to the hospital for kidney stones, and the pain from the kidney stones was so bad that they gave me a Percocet injection there at the hospital to stop me from feeling so much pain, being in so much pain. And they also gave me a prescription to take home with me, and the instructions on the bottle told me to take 2 pills every, I think it was 4 or 6 hours. And I believe the pills, they were 5s or 10s back then. I came home from the hospital and I remember the shot wearing off and the pain kicking in, and I took 2 pills like they told me. The pills, in my opinion, really didn't stop my pain because I still felt the pain, but they made me feel so weird that I think I was able to sort of deal with it a little better. To further explain or give an example of how terrified I was, when I finally went back to the hospital for the kidney stone procedure, they told me they had to put me to sleep. And I asked them what were they going to give me. And he told me morphine. And I told him I didn't want it. I told him, since you're just doing laser surgery, can you please just give me some codeine or something like that? Anything other than morphine, Dilaudid, or Percocet. Because I want no parts of those drugs. He looked at me and he said, Mr. Harrison, are you aware that if we do this surgery without morphine, that you could go into shock and die from the pain? I was almost willing to take that chance. But in the long run, he told me he would keep the dose as limited as he possibly could, and that he would send me home with something other than an opiate, Percocet, or anything like that. So I went on and had the surgery, and I took the morphine, but that was one of the most frightening moments in my life. All y'all know or seen or know of somebody to take pills. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. Right.
So what do you think when you see that?
People just going through stuff.
Huh?
Nah, people going through stuff and they just don't know how to handle it.
So what do you think?
They like the struggle. Like sometimes people do it because pain, like say for instance like a toothache or something, and they just like overdose. And they think it just make them feel good or something like that.
Yeah, but how do you think that happens though? If you go from just having a toothache, all right, eventually the toothache gone, right?
Yeah, but they just addicted to it.
Yeah.
Pills are addictive.
So I mean, have you seen what it does to a person? Any of y'all seen what it does? What you witness?
I witnessed it with my mom.
Oh, your mom. What about you?
Brother.
Who?
My brother.
Yeah. What kind of things you know?
Man, it's that crazy sometimes. And my dad, he died because of that.
What?
Yeah.
Pills?
Well, he did more than that, but
pills.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Like his liver gave up.
How old was your dad? He was young.
49.
He was young. He was young. That's rough. Well, like you seen some of the different problems and issues that it caused in your mom's life, right? And you already told me. It's like one thing all y'all got in common, man. Your mom, your dad.
Some people think it's just fun. I don't know. I'll see what it does, honestly.
Well, one thing it do it wreck your life.
I think my cousin, she was in Jersey. Well, we from Jersey, and she was with my other cousin. And I guess they had brought pills from somebody, and I guess she took them, and then like it just made her, like her whole life changed up there. Like she was a whole different person. Like she started she just went crazy. Like, she started losing weight. Like it messed up her brain and everything. Like she was different. Like, she was never the same now. But she's regular now, but it's just like she don't talk to nobody like that. Nothing.
Messed up.
Yeah.
Messed up.
I saw somebody go from being like fat, like real fat, to like ended up being skinnier than me, and like real anorexic and not healthy. From pills and all that.
Yeah, especially when you eat too. I heard like when you just take pills and like that's like what you take for the day, like that mess you up. Like that really gets in your system. Like you're not eating, you just taking pills.
Yeah, because I don't know if y'all know, but when you take them pills, it actually impacts your digestive system. You can't move your bowels. So then you gotta take something else just to move your bowels. So them people that's been going through that for a long time, man, you get sick. You really get sick. They gave me Percocets for I had kidney stones. I went to the doctor. They gave me the Percocet shot. Now this is the first I really dealt with them. They gave me the needle. And when I went home, they gave me a prescription and told me to take 2 pills every 6 hours or something like that. I took 2 pills when I went home. Ain't shit for 2 weeks. Had to go back to the hospital 3 more times. Not for my kidney stones, but because I couldn't even use the bathroom. And the lady told me the last time, she said she ain't never seen nobody's system. This is a nurse. She said she ain't never seen nobody's system that backed up. That was from that 1 shot and 2 pills. And you got people out here that take, those was 5s. So you know the levels of the numbers, right? You know the 5s, 10s, 30s. I took 2 5s.
30s is the worst.
It's people out here that take 10 30s a day.
I know they came out with some more called Pac-Man or something like that.
Pac-Man?
Yeah, Pac-Man.
That's another form of perk?
Yeah.
I ain't never heard that. Y'all heard that?
Probably, I don't know, but
they like yellow ones. They say like 30 on there. It's called Pac-Man.
And they supposed to be rougher, huh? But see, this is like I was telling the old heads out there. They don't really know what perks do. People get caught up on perks. because initially they start taking them for pain. But if you ask a doctor who's willing to tell you the truth, he'll tell you that Percocets really don't do nothing for your pain. It's a psychological drug that makes you think it's helping your pain. So really, you're going in for a knee injury or whatever, for pain, and they're giving you something to mess with your mind. Does that make sense?
This is selling you down. I don't know, I guess.
They take your mind off the pain. But in order to take your mind away from what it's naturally going to do, you got to alter it. You got to artificially alter it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. They had gave me when I had broke my leg, they gave me 2 of them. All it did was, I just was drowning in it. See?
But did you still feel?
Hurting.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my case too. Same thing with me. I still felt the pain. I just was messed up. I was drowsy, messed up, and then I couldn't use the bathroom. So it's like, really, if you pay attention to what's going on, man, they getting people hooked on psychological drugs because they're using them to treat any and everything. And what y'all seeing around y'all schools, the kids that y'all with and all this and that, y'all parents, people that just got caught up in that. Because how they make their money? By selling them pills. How they gonna sell them pills if they don't create people a need for it? So all these, they just push it to these doctors. And these doctors at one point were just writing prescription. I remember, man, when I used to go, it used to be Tylenol. They give you Tylenol 3 for pain. I had wisdom teeth. Tylenol 3. You go for a wisdom tooth now, I'm gonna give you Percocets. And they setting you up, man. They setting you up. Because you read that statistic. What was it, something like?
I think the doctors know they're doing it on purpose.
I think the statistic was 86% of teens between 12 to 18 are like started out on like prescribed like pill or something like that, and then they get on the opioids and all that.
They get on the heroin.
Yeah.
So 86% of new heroin users are people that started out popping pills. So basically, all these people y'all see popping pills and this and that, they training to be heroin addicts.
That's what I said.
Because that's where they headed. Yeah.
They give it to the black people on purpose, and then they give something. Because you rarely see white people. Saying that, but I'm talking about you see it's all kinds on the strip, but I'm talking about giving it to them though.
Nah, see, here's the thing. Now you hear all of this on the news and all that about heroin and the big problem heroin is, and now they want to change the way they police it. They don't want to lock people up for it. They want to give them treatment and all that. You know why that is? Because it's affecting white people now. When it was just a crack epidemic and it was just, basically blacks, they was just, all right, we ain't treating them, we locking them up, putting them in jail. But now it's affecting everybody, and the heroin is hitting that white population like a brick. So now, all we ain't gonna lock them up, we gonna give them treatment, stuff like that. And it works out better for us because now you gotta get everybody treatment. Now you're giving us something that we should have had all along, but you're only giving it to us because your people need it. But the bottom line is all these people y'all see, these kids y'all see popping these pills now, you already know where they headed, and y'all already seen it.